Well, I'm not quite sure what to do at this point because, we've got over 1,000 dropped frames here. But I have people in the chat saying that it's working just fine, so I might just roll with it anyway and see what happens. Oh, look at that. Now we're dropping on the input side too. Isn't that nice? So that's not really, that's not helping me at all. But I might just roll with it and see what happens. So let's get this party started, shall we? Alright, welcome to the first ever official, well, I guess you shouldn't really call it official, because this is only technically supposed to be an air check, and I let it get a little bit too far out of hand here. I've got, how many songs do I have lined up here? I've got about 23 songs, and a bonus. There's going to be a bonus song in this one as well. And anyway, welcome to the first ever broadcast on Low End Radio. This is CP266 signing on for what is hopefully going to be a great show. Got off on to an excellent start because of the fact that my connection seems to not be the greatest. But we are now streaming just fine, and even though we are still dropping quite a few frames, I have people telling me that it's just fine. So I'm just going to roll with it. Like I said, I don't care if we drop 1,000,000 frames from now until the end of time. We are going to just continue to roll with this. But let's move on to some music, because this is going to be a radio show and not a let's look at this guy talking on camera show. We've got a song up next from the Offspring's album Americana. This is Pretty Fly for a White Guy here on Low End Radio. Okay, that was Blink-182 and All the Small Things here on Low End Radio. Prior to that, we had The Offspring and Pretty Fly for a White Guy. You see, I really should not be doing this broadcast right now, because it is 12 o'clock in the morning. Well, 8 minutes past midnight on the morning of August 5th, 2014. And I want to show you guys something. Here's a project that I've been working on for the majority of today, and I didn't even bother to switch inputs here so that you could see what I was actually about to show you. But I have something that I want to show all you guys. Can you tell me what this is? I'm going to let that stew for a little bit while I go ahead and fire up the next song. We've got Cake from the album Comfort Eagle. This is Short Skirt, Long Jacket here on Low End Radio. That was Cake and Short Skirt, Long Jacket. You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. Now, about this vacuum cleaner belt. I am in the middle of a project right now, and of course it's not even still in here. Well, I guess I can grab you this. I am working on tearing apart, or more accurately fixing the family vacuum cleaner, as you can see. This is a beater bar. This is the belt for the beater bar, and it's tangled in my headphones here. And you can also clearly see that it is broken. So, we need a new belt for it. And of course, this being the civic holiday, we weren't able to go out and get it because half, if not all, of the stores that would actually carry these are closed. Which is very, very convenient. This project has been going on for the last little while. And my mother says that that vacuum cleaner is old. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that thing is, and pardon my foray into, see, I'm bungling pronunciations all over the place again. Pardon my foray into profanity here, but it is a piece of SH*T from 2010, as far as I can tell. But of course, they've got no dates on the stupid thing, so I can't I can't take a look at any of that stuff. So that's a project that's been ongoing. There is a whole heck of a lot of lack of stuff in the lower chassis on the vacuum cleaner. You wouldn't believe how much cat litter I found inside that thing. It was ridiculous. I had to bring up, and I didn't really need to do this. I could have just taken the canister portion because it's an upright vacuum cleaner. Could have just taken the canister portion and used it, but I didn't. I decided to haul up the Kenmore that we still have that's easily from the 80s. It still works, except for the power attachment. I hauled that up here and used that to clean it out, and it did an admirable job given what it had to work with, and that is cat litter and a bag that's not actually meant for it. It's meant for the newer ones, and so there is that. Anyway, we are about to try something a little bit different. The last songs that I have been playing on this show have been from the computer, of course, as you can see from the input here. That's where they're playing. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to play a CD here. I have a CD player that's sitting right here. You can kind of just see it, at least as far as I can tell. Yeah, you can kind of just see it here. And so we're going to find the CD, which conveniently is right there in front of my face. We're going to be playing a song from this particular album. And yes, it's a kid's album. We're playing, let's see, it's song number 5 from the Romantics, What I Like About You. I'll tell you what I don't like about you, and you being this CD player, is that it seems to have some kind of a problem with its, I think it's the microcontroller, in that, for whatever reason, whenever you hit play, sometimes it will reset itself. Or if you try to use the programming feature, it will also reset itself. So that's probably the reason why we actually ended up getting another one. And there is another one, but this is not that other one because that other one is not mine. As if that wasn't a klutzy way to phrase that. So we're going to open up the CD tray here, which oh wow. Look at what I found. I have been looking for this for a very, very long time. I like the boombox on the bed. Yes, that's my spare, just in case this one decides it's going to not work. Which, if my pre-show test, before I went live the first time and had all those problems, has anything to say about it, it will not work. So let's see what happens. Let's put that disc in there and turn this thing on. Oh wow, it kept its settings. Usually when you turn it off, it decides that it's not actually even going to work at all. Okay, so let's plug in this CD player. Now, warning to all of you headphone users. This might result in a loud noise. It shouldn't result in us losing the microphone, but let's see what happens. Move that mouse out of the way and plug in that. And let's see what it does. Okay. Let's play song number 5. It crashed. Convenient. So, it looks like that is not going to work. Let's try that again. It crashed again. Alright, okay. Looks like we are going to be using the spare. Good thing I kept it out, isn't it? Okay, let's unplug that. And unplug the CD player because it is not working. This is live fixing on low-end radio. Yeah, low-end is definitely right. All of these CD players, both of these, and even the stereo that I'm using to do most of this broadcasting, all of them were free. This one was a Christmas gift. This one, of course, was replaced and never thrown away. And that I picked out of the trash. So let's move this mess of cables out of the way. Let's eject the CD. Oh, I already ejected the CD. And put the new one in its place. This is an Electro Home. It actually has a tape player on it, but the tape functionality does not work. I don't know if it's busted gears or if it's a busted belt, and I'm going to need to get a new belt. Hopefully it's not gears, because if it's gears, I'm not going to be able to fix it unless I can somehow manage to shape gears for it. So we'll plug that in. Ouch. This cord is a piece of crap. And again, I'm going to warn you guys, incoming loud noise, or buzz, or hum, I guess, as UXW will call it. So, let's see what happens. Let's put that on there. I just hit the microphone. That's useful. And, fart. Nice. Turn on the CD player. Again, this could result in a very loud noise. Ugh, yeesh, that's not a very good sound. This, by the way, is the first time that I am using this CD player since probably about a year ago. So, in fact, even more than that. I haven't used the CD player in a very, very long time. I have used the radio functionality of this thing. So let's see. I know that the program worked last time I knew. So we'll play, it's track 5, right? Yeah, track 5, what I like about it. Let's go ahead and play this. I'll put my headphones in. Center levels. And hit play and hope that nothing explodes. Nothing happened. There we go. Wow, okay, let's unplug those microphones before I sever my ears and not be able to talk. Anyway, that was The Romantics and What I Like About You from the Teletoon Presents Tune Tracks. Unreal Hits, tunes from cartoons and others. It just says other on there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I am way too tired for this. What it means to say is Teletoon Presents Tune Tracks, tunes from cartoons, and other Unreal Hits. That's what it's supposed to be. And we're not dropping nearly as many frames on here as we were before. As for that sound effect generator that UXW Bill seems to be wondering about, this is something that I actually custom wrote myself in Flash. It's a sound effect generator, let's see, with keyboard shortcuts. So I could actually go ahead and take my keyboard here that I'm using for hooking up to this particular machine, and I could generate sound effects. Like, for instance, this is an air horn. Hopefully that played and isn't going to cause too many problems, if it even worked, which I doubt. Yeah, I very much doubt that actually worked, so I think I have to make it the focus window. Let's see what happens now. Ah, there we go. Now it is working. So there's your little air horn. And there are a whole bunch of other sound effects that this can actually generate. This can generate a dramatic sound effect. The chime that Bill heard, which is labeled as magic. A witch laughing sound effect. I hope I'm not stepping on any sound effects with the other ones here because it's not designed. This is a really hastily hand-coded program. A drum roll. Let's see my output. A slap, which I did play during that song. So I can hit people if I really want to. A loser sound effect, which is basically just the... Yeah, there you go. A fail sound effect, which is actually a buzzer. Now, I'm going to warn you, this one is definitely loud. I have no idea if the levels are set properly, but we're going to see what this sounds like. So headphone users, watch your ears on this one. Complete with an excellent reverberation sound effect. I love that. I think that's my most favorite one out of all of them. And we've got phone, a trumpet, applause, and a joke sound, which is basically that drum roll. If you want to have the buzzer noise, I might actually even make this program available for download from my server, if you ask nicely. I forget who actually makes that sound effect, but I think I edited it a little bit. I think, if I remember quite right, it's from YouTube user Joji Kiba. If you look up fail sound effect, you might find it. If that's all you want. If you want the whole program, I can send you the whole program. But anyway, back to the music. Enough rambling about sound effects and other random crap that I'm sure nobody cares about except for the select few that are posting about it in the chat. Let's play what is next on my list. An entry from Harvey Danger. Let's see if I can find it. From the album Where Have All the Merrymakers Gone? This is Flagpole Sitta here on Low End Radio. Well, I am a doofus. I have no audio because I was not smart enough to switch the input back to the CD player, or the main stereo. And I put the thing right on top of... Yeah, this is going very, very well. Let's see, can I manage to break anything else in this show? Maybe I can manage to break people's... Did I hit the microphone? I did not hit the microphone. Yes. Let's move that keyboard out of the way. If I can move it out of the way. And let's try playing that song again. We'll see if we get audio. Use the right mouse. Cue that back up and play. That was Harvey Danger and Flagpole Sitta here on Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. And speaking of sucking, it would really suck if the events in this particular song that I'm about to play now, if I can find it, because I seem to have lost it, which I'm very good at doing here. If the events in this particular song actually were true, and I do have reason to suspect it, I feel bad for the person who got the shaft. That was Jerry Reed, and She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft, here on Low End Radio. And also, on the subject of things that suck, let's talk about Linux for a second. No, I'm not saying that Linux sucks. There are a couple of distros that I have tried that are absolutely god-awful. But there are also a couple of distros that I've tried that are fairly usable. For instance, Linux Mint is one. And I'm sure that somebody was probably going to ask about it if I didn't point it out, but that machine over there that's in that corner that you can kind of just make out, I'm not sure. You can see part of it. That is a Toshiba Tecra 8000. It is the same one that I mentioned on the forum that's having the lockup problems, but it is running Anti-X, which is a derivative of Debian. And that's a fairly good distro. Ubuntu used to be fairly good until the whole Unity desktop garbage came around. I can't stand that desktop. But one of the things about Linux that suck. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. I'm not going to talk about the fact that sound sometimes doesn't work in Linux. I'm not going to talk about the fact that sometimes you have to go into the command line to do things on Linux. No. Let's open up a web browser here because we're going to take a look at my web server and what it does. This is a fairly long thing. In fact, it's a Unix archaism, as I like to call it. Something that should not be present in 2014. So let's go to a file list here on my own server. Oh, that's convenient. It's right there. Okay, so as you can see, we've now got a file list of all the things that are on my particular server. You can see file list of version 1.0. I need to kind of work on it to make it a little bit better. And this is the directory. These are all of the images that I happen to have uploaded in this particular directory as of right now. And I keep thinking that there's somebody that's going to come in here because that door has got a piece of paper on the back of it that is falling off. Oh, look at that. Half of it is off the screen. Isn't that useful? Or at least Flash Media Encoder is showing me that half of it is off the screen. Anyway, let's focus on this. So, let's take a look at an image here. Here's one. eeboxfan.jpg. As you can see, I have got two of them here. And there shouldn't be two of them here. Oh, I forgot that you have to press function F5 if you want to refresh, but there are still two of them here. Okay. eeboxfan. That was the box fan that I happened to show you in my recent acquisition. That's this thing right here. And as you can see, there are two of them in this folder. Two of exactly the same file as far as I'm concerned, and as far as most ordinary people are concerned. But the only difference, as a moth disturbs me, that is annoying. I wish I could show you that. Anyway, As far as I'm concerned, these two files are identical, except for this thing right here, and that is the file extension. Why is it that upper and lowercase can be mixed in Linux in this day and age? It is 2014. What are you doing? And another problem comes when you go to open a file. Let's take this, for example, this picture of one of my other vintage laptops, my NEC Versus 6030X. So there you can see that's what the image looks like. Let's try and load that same image, but with a lowercase file extension. It can't find it. Look at that. It is just so completely asinine that this is still a problem in 2014. Are you telling me that this is something that is completely necessary to have in a modern Linux distro in 2014? If you're one of those people who are going to tell me that yes it is, then I have one thing to say to you. You are telling me sweet little lies. That was Fleetwood Mac and Little Lies, and it is still playing because I turned the microphone on just a wee bit early. That's okay. You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. You know, for a first ever broadcast, without me actually really even testing this online ever before now, well, it kind of was a little bit rocky at the beginning due to a wonderful problem with our modem, but now that our modem seems to be working fine, and I've been told that the broadcast is still working fine from people in the chat, so it looks like we're all going along just fine. But for being a first ever broadcast, this has gone amazingly well. We've only ever had two problems this show. The first of which was the fact that the modem decided it was going to just absolutely explode before finally working, it seems. And second of which was that CD player, which I didn't think was going to work. And as it turns out, I was right. I probably should have just switched it out while I was doing my test. But I didn't, because obviously I am just not smart enough to do that. Next on the list of songs is something that I saw requested in one of the forums. I don't remember who requested it, or for whose show it was requested, or for what reason it was requested, but we're going to play it anyway because I found it in my library. This is an entry from Fastball's album, All the Pain Money Can Buy. This is The Way here on Low End Radio. As if that song could go on any longer, I seem to have lost my ability to connect to chat. It is totally broken. So I don't know what happened there, but I think we are still broadcasting. I certainly still have network, and I don't see any error messages showing up. If I hit play on my thing here, there we go. Chat is now working. All right. So that was Champagne Supernova by Oasis from their album What's the Story? Morning Glory? You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. And UXW Bill, I wish I could show you how hot it is in this bedroom. Now, of course, my numbers are going to be a little bit skewed because I read things in Celsius, and obviously all the rest of you, I think all the rest of you, are reading in Fahrenheit. So this is going to seem weird. In fact, if it were this temperature in Fahrenheit, it would probably be snowing in here. However, let me show you exactly how hot it is in here. Take a look at this. Ouch, I just hit the track. Okay. Up there is my thermometer for here. Check that out. It is almost 31 degrees Celsius in here. And given that it is 2 minutes shy of 1 o'clock in the morning, which means I should probably wrap this up soon because I want to be able to let Chris Master go. So maybe I'll have to end up doing that soon enough, and thank God, I thought for a second there that I had left my microphone on mute. There's bound to be a couple of wrong buttons being pushed on this show because, like I said, we are 2 minutes shy of 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, of course, so it probably depends on your perspective of things, and that was not the way I wanted to say that. But anyway, let's get back to the music now that now that I have finished talking about the temperature in this bedroom. Now I am continuing to bungle the pronunciation of just about every single thing that I am saying. Not quite as bad as it probably would be if it were 3 o'clock. However, next up we have an entry from Green Day from an album that is titled the same as the song. And no, it is not American Idiot. Fun fact, that album, American Idiot, is actually the only one, well, I think I might have another one, but it is the only one that readily presented itself before making the show that I have ripped in WMA format. That's right, it is in Windows Media Audio, which is interesting. And yes, this house has air conditioning, it just doesn't work very well, which is why I have 3 fans up here, and I just realized that I am still on the wrong input. So I'm not only pushing wrong buttons, but I'm also not pushing buttons. Anyway, this is an album. I can't even speak. So I'm just going to play the song. That was Green Day and Warning from an album that is titled the same as the song, also called Warning. You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. CLER.TV on Vaughn Live. It is 4 minutes past the top of the hour, 1:04 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'll tell you what, the sirens in that song, I never heard them before. Which probably isn't saying much, considering I haven't heard that song in at least 10 years, until now. Because I didn't even play, guess what, I didn't even play that before playing it on the show. So, I guess there is one thing that I probably should have figured when I actually played it, is that there would be some things that would be either scary or that would trigger my memory. Now, Chris Master 1 is in the it's in the chat here, in the trash. Yeah, that's that's great. Okay. Chris Master 1 is in the chat. And okay. You want to crash? You want to crash? Here's a crash. Anyway, Chris Master 1 is in the chat, and I know that I requested 2 songs to be played on his show, which, by the way, will be, hopefully, if I end this in enough time, airing after this one. I requested that he play both Fleetwood Mac Little Lies and Queen, Another One Bites the Dust. Both of which that I am actually going to be playing on this show, because I seem to have lost the song that is supposed to go in this slot, and it was in my crate of music that I was supposed to play on this particular show. In fact, I don't think it is anymore. It just seems to have disappeared. So everything is breaking itself. Where did it go? Well, you know what? I'll find it this way then. We'll just go straight into the library. And we'll take a look at all of these songs that should be played eventually on this. I just skipped right over it. Let's see here. Where is our friends? Ram Queen. The very best of Queen. Another One Bites the Dust. There we go. That was Queen, and Another One Bites the Dust from the album The Very Best of Queen. You are listening to Low End Radio. CLER.TV on Vaughn Live. Also, sometimes, especially next show, I'm planning to simulcast on Ustream as the Low End Radio Show live. I wanted to say something, and I don't even remember what it was. Just goes to show you that, once again, I probably shouldn't be doing a show. So I guess we're just going to continue on with the music. And actually, here we've got a very special entry. We're going to be playing something off of tape. Let's see, we've played something off of CD. We've played something off of a computer. Now we're going to be playing something off of tape. So let's see just how long it takes for something to go sky high. Zoom that out so we can take a look. This is the tape player that I'm actually going to be using. I have no idea how well this is going to work. I have no idea if it's even going to work at all, and I have no idea if this is even queued up properly. So we're going to find out all of these things on this show right now as soon as I can find the tape. And yes, folks, this is actually a recorded tape that I'm going to be playing this from. So, I'm well aware of the fact that this could very well be pirated music, but if it was pirated music, it was pirated a long time ago. And I do have the digital song in my library as of right now. I bought it on iTunes not too long ago. I have to think, did I actually buy that on iTunes? I'm wondering if that was... Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter, I bought it from somewhere, and there you go. So we're going to insert this tape, and hope that A, I'm inserting it in the right way, and that B, this is going to work. So, let's switch it to tape mode. It should hopefully work. Hissing, I guess you can't hear this hissing. Let's hit play and see what happens. If I can reach. Looks like I might have actually got it. Alright, that was Little Jimmy Dickens, and May the Bird of Paradise fly up your nose. And I hope that the bird of paradise flies up this tape player's nose for acting up at the best possible time. I hope that that did not decide that it was going to try and eat my tape. But it looks like the tape is fine. Okay, so I guess that was great. This tape player has got a history of acting up quite a bit. I know that the second deck, as you can probably not see because I switched the input, I know that the second deck, that would be this one right here, doesn't play properly at all. It definitely needs new belts. If you try to play something, it will eat your tape. I found that out by, fortunately, using a tape that I don't actually care about, and that's this one, which maybe you can see. I found that out, that it actually tried to eat that tape. Fortunately, I caught it before it decided to get too far with it. The second deck, oh boy, or the first deck, I guess is what you should call it. The first deck, oh boy, do I ever have a story for you. The first deck has got all kinds of problems. Every once in a while, it will slow down. For no reason whatsoever. It will slow down, it will lose pitch, it will flatline for a little bit, and then go right back up to where it was supposed to be before. Sometimes, you will lose part of a channel of audio, which is what you saw in this particular episode. That's what that did. It seems to have lost, I think it was the right channel of audio for a brief second. Sometimes it will do that. And most recently, I lost fast forward completely. Fast forward does not work at all. Which is strange, considering the last time I had it apart, I thought it was a two-belt system. You know, one for reverse and one for both play and fast forward. Clearly that can't be the case because play still works. But fast forward does not work at all. It will just simply sit there and act as if there's nothing being pushed at all. And I don't hear any tape motor noise either, so maybe there's some kind of other problem, like a gear that's mashed or something else that I need to take a look at. Anyway, enough rambling about a CD player, or a tape player, as it may be. Let's play the next song. Let's go back to our crate here. And play, what's next? The New Radicals. Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too is the album title. Whether or not I've been brainwashed is certainly up for debate, but up for friendly debate at that. The song title is You Get What You Give. You are listening to Low End Radio. And I am once again a complete doofus for forgetting to change this back to auxiliary input. Let's try that again. This is You Get What You Give by the New Radicals here on Low End Radio. Wow, I didn't think that song ended that early. Turns out I'm really not paying any attention to anything, but that was Temptation. Apparently some edit, I can't read that because it is half cut off. And I just moved the wrong thing here. Tom Lord Algae Mix, or something. I probably totally bungled the pronunciation of that, but that's okay. It is a couple of minutes shy of 1:30 a.m., and we are still only on song, let's see, where are we at now? We are at song 16 of 23 plus a bonus. That's right, there will be a bonus song at the end of this. I was contemplating maybe not playing it, but I think I'm going to play it now because I'm sure that you guys will love to actually be able to hear that song. Next up, we have an instrumental, and I'm sure that a lot of you will know which one this is. As soon as I mention that, it's a fairly common song. Maybe, depends on who you ask, whether or not it's a fairly common song, but have a listen and see if you know who actually made this song. That's right, that was Hot Butter and the Popcorn song, or more accurately, Popcorn, from the album Popcorn and Other Great Instrumentals. You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that, of course, doesn't suck. That last part being very important, because we will not be playing any hip-hop or any hardcore rap, or, as my slideshow says, if I can bring the thing up, this computer is so slow. This is one of the problems with broadcasting and running a slideshow on a PowerBook G4, is that it is not very fast. But like I was about to say, these are the things that we don't play. Hardcore rap, hip-hop, we won't play it if it sucks, or if it was made by rubbing cubes of garbage together, i.e. you are using auto-tune. And of course, this show is no expenses paid. Quick word to the wise, after this show is finished, Chris Master 1 will be taking over. I will post a link in the chat as soon as we get near show's end. But as of right now, we are technically in the after hours, because I've gone way past my limit of 10 songs, then 15 songs, now I've got 24 songs lined up for you guys. But we'll see what we can do. Next up, we've got a song that I'm sure you guys will recognize. If you've been watching my videos recently, I've got an intro on my videos, which I will be getting rid of. As of the end of this next round of Thunderstorm videos, that's it. In fact, I have a whole bunch of videos right now that are private. The last one that is public is, let's see if I can take a look here, without totally destroying my outgoing bandwidth or breaking something else, because all of that is all highly possible. The last video that used the intro, I believe, is the last video in my Brief Storm 7-8-14 lineup. Right now, I just have the sneak peek public. But after that, after those, I will no longer be using an intro. But let's play something that if you know that intro, you will definitely be familiar with. Alright, that was actually, the initial song was Popcorn 99 Mix by Crystal Crew, and I found that one on the Mod Archive. And the second one, the one that was last heard, was my edit of it, where I took out most of the Popcorn stuff and a couple of other things as well. And I used a modified version of that for use with my intro. Next up, we have a song that is also on tape, and I have no idea if I have queued this one up right at all. In fact, I haven't even queued it up, period, the end. So let's switch over to the right input and take a look at what we've got here. Shift down there. Let's see if I can get this in view of the camera. Focus, not focus, that was. There we go. We are going to be playing a song titled, if I remember this correctly, we're going to be playing a song titled Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil from the Diesel and Dust album. Now let's see if I actually have this queued up right. First switch the input, because that's always the smart thing to do. Let's see if I can actually get this right. Stop that, of course, before it decides that it's going to play the next song on that tape. I have no idea why the levels are so smashed on that tape. They're not like that. At least not when I'm listening to it through the speakers. It could very well still be pretty high up there, but I really don't know, and I'm probably clipping this microphone like crazy because I turned my volume up in order to get the volume out of it a little bit better. Anyway, that was Midnight Oil and Beds Are Burning from the album Diesel and Dust. You are listening to Low End Radio, specializing in music that doesn't suck. Am I ever going to wear that line thin? I don't think so, because I like it. And the audio will start to level out as the tape gets older. That is true. You can record analog. because as time goes, the tape loses its... that's also very true. I still don't think that the levels are smashed on the tape. I still think that it's probably something in my audio path that's causing some slight problems. I'll check it after the show and I'll see what happens, but in any event, let's move on to the next song. We're almost at the end. We are down to the last 4 songs. Well, last 4 official songs. There's also that bonus one, which brings our count up to 5. Next up on the list is an entry from Billy Idol from the album VH1 Storytellers. This is White Wedding here on Low End Radio. And hopefully these levels aren't smashed either. It's super loud. I'm still doing that. Not switching the input back to where it's supposed to be. When am I ever going to stop? Alright folks, we are definitely winding down the show, just as we get ready to do all the time. I should have done this a long time ago. In fact, I probably shouldn't have ever even gone live, knowing that I was going to go this long. That wasn't how I wanted to say that at all. Oh well, not only are we wrong button radio, we are also wrong sentence radio. Anyway, probably just goes to show you that I should be in bed, but of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff on the bed, so I can't sleep. I love making myself do work. It is very fun. Next up, we've actually got another song from the Mod Archive. This is a song, I don't know how many of you have heard the song before. I think all of you have heard this song. It's been played on the Weasel Show fairly often. It is a spin on the Blues Brothers song, Everybody Needs Somebody. You are listening to From an Unknown Artist. This is Every here on Low End Radio. I'm telling ya, no pants radio. I might just have to pilfer that for some reason or another. Anyway, folks, it has been one hell of a ride, actually. But we are down to the last 2 official songs. I wish I could play more for you, but I really do want to let Chris Master 1 get a broadcast in, because he went to the effort to post a forum topic about it. So I might as well just let him do that. But anyway, one of our last songs is an entry from John Michael Montgomery's album, if I can find the stupid thing. I guess it's not stupid, it's actually a really good song. Oh, a self-titled album, isn't that nice? This is, Sold, the Grundy County Auction Incident, here on Low End Radio. Well, folks, it has been, and I think I've already said this on this show, it has been one hell of a ride. I thank each and every single one of you for coming along and making this show a success. I couldn't have ever even done it, or even known that I could have had no problems at all, if none of you, in fact, especially UXW Bill, who said that it was fine on his end, which allowed me to continue streaming, which was good on you. Good on you for doing that. And all of you got a wonderful show out of it. I should turn that off so that I don't have that date on here anymore. But we are down to the last official song. I wish I had some kind of a reverberation effect to go along with that, but my reverb, my VST decided it was going to force close before I decided to go on air. So I guess that's one other problem that we've had on this show, which brings our total up to 3. But given that this has been such a resounding success, it's perfect. Well, not quite perfect. Once again, I thank each and every single one of you for coming along, and I hate to have to cut the show off because it seems that a lot of you are enjoying it. But you have to remember that every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. One last time, thank you all for coming. It has been a blast, but it is time to finally shut the show down. Let me know when the audio stops so I can cut the carrier off. Thank you for watching for the probably bazillionth time. I hope to see you next time, but until then, this is CP266 and Low End Radio, signing off.